Hi guys, my name is Nonema Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's video, we are talking about the name they never wrote down, Senzo Meyiwa, and the scene that was erased. Okay, 11 years. That's how long South Africa has waited for the truth about who killed Senzo Meyiwa. 11 years of investigations, 11 years of arrest, 11 years of testimony. And today we are forced to ask a question so disturbing, it shakes the foundation of this entire case. Who was at the crime scene but never returned down? So there are allegations that are reopening everything. There are allegations. On the night Senzo Meyiwa was shot dead in Vosloorus, 26 October 2014, the country was told a simple story, a robbery, a chaotic scene, police arriving later. But new allegations say that that story is incomplete. There's always allegations. In fact, these allegations have always been out here on Twitter. Twitter has been talking a lot over the years, all these 11 years. Sources close to the investigation allege that a senior police official, Shadrack Sibiya, was present at the scene, and he also confirms that he was present. And he was present there after the incident happened, not the next morning, that night when it happened. And yet his name does not appear where it should matter the most in court. He should have given evidence as the state witness. He was never called. The crime scene records, according to what we heard in court, they are not talking about Shadrack Sibiya. In a murder investigation, especially one involving national icon, every senior officer present must be recorded. Why? Because do you know why they should be recorded? Because whoever arrives first controls the scene, who speaks to witnesses, who gives instructions, what evidence is touched, what evidence is moved, what evidence is never found. If a senior officer was present and that presence was deliberately omitted, then the investigation didn't just fail, it was managed. Because tell me why, when Advocate Baloyi was calling witnesses, Shadrack Sibiya was not one of them, but he is an official that is high ranking that was never called. What does that even mean? Doesn't even make sense, Leon Donnelly. What the law says and why this is exclusive. Legal experts are unanimous on one point: failing to record the presence of senior officials or senior police officers at the crime scene is not a clerical mistake. It is a procedural violation. And if deliberate, it becomes something far more serious. Interference with evidence, interference with witnesses, interference with justice. And once interference enters the picture, every piece of evidence that follows becomes suspicious. And the family that never stopped saying this for years, the Meyiwa family has said the truth was buried. They never shied away, especially Sifiso Meyiwa, who's the eldest brother of Senzo Meyiwa. That the investigation was shaped, that statements were adjusted, that the story changed but never made sense. These allegations don't contradict the family's claims. They explain them. They are giving a leeway to us, leaning so much to the allegations by Sifiso Meyiwa, because a lot of things are not making sense. Yes? Because when the first chapter of a case is manipulated, every chapter that follows is contaminated. And the question no one has answered, so now South Africa must ask, who ordered that omission? Who decided that senior officers' presence should vanish from the record? Who benefited from controlling the scene from the start? And the most dangerous question of all, if those names was never written down, what else was never recorded? Because we hear, apparently there was a Brigadier Ndlovu. Was he a brigadier? But there was a captain of Brigadier Ndlovu. He passed away under some serious, mysterious ways. And his wife, allegedly, after finding out about these mysterious ways of his death, was also shot and killed in Vosloorus. So there's a lot of things that are not making sense that are coming out. Now we've got a Brigadier Ndlovu that passed away under those circumstances. We've got a Shadrack Sibiya, what is his title? A General Shadrack Sibiya. He's still alive, but he was never called in court. And we've got other names of high-ranking police officials that were there, but they were never called in court because they needed to explain what did they see, what happened, etc. And the other thing, okay, we will do a separate video about that one. There was a time Makubo was called onto the crime scene by Shadrack Sibiya. We are going to talk about that. Why did that not make... Do you see when they talk about, because it did not make it to court, why it made it to court? Because Makubo came for defense. Do you understand? So we will talk about that because Shadrack Sibiya called Makubo there. We'll talk about that in a separate video. Let's move. Why this matters to the current trial. 5 men are on trial today, but this allegation doesn't point at the accused. It points upwards, because if the foundation of the investigation is compromised, the entire prosecution rests on unstable ground. You cannot build a case or build justice on a scene that was never honestly documented. You can't do that. Sorry, something is off about that crime scene. So because of those things now, Senzo Meyiwa didn't just die from a gunshot wound. He died in a system that may have decided from the very first night what the truth would be allowed to look like. And until the names that were erased are written back into history, justice will remain missing from this case. Because why was all of this controlled in a certain manner? Why was it controlled in a certain manner? Why was people's names? Because we had a lot of Peromani. Gininda had his own people also that he spoke about, and they were high-ranking police officials. And we also want to know, because Kelly Khumalo never called, no one in the house called the police. People from outside called the police. Now, we've got a Chico Twala that was called after the shooting happened. Now, we want to know who called. Okay, maybe after the police officials heard about it in Vosloorus police station, then it started moving. But it would have been nice for the state to put us on green light. Who called Shadrack Sibiya and sent him there? We want to know who called Shadrack Sibiya and sent him there, and why Shadrack Sibiya, according to his police rank, and who called Brigadier Ndlovu to go there and why? And what were the findings? We still want to know who are these other officials that were, when Makubo's team, Makubo, Joyce Buthelezi, who else? I forgot the other name, but all those people, when they were appointed, there were 40 investigators, if I'm not mistaken. Who were those investigators? Where are their findings? You can't investigate and have nothing. Why was that not mentioned in court? So all these people, we want to know about them. Who were these 40 investigators that were let go? Who were the first high-ranking officials that arrived at the crime scene? What did they do? What was happening? What did they find? If there were high-ranking officials in the crime scene the same night Senzo Meyiwa died, why did the bullet was only found the following day after 9 o'clock in the morning by Mohlahlo? Do you see why there's a lot of questionable things that are happening there? There's a lot that is very much questionable because of such instances. Everything is making you ask questions. Hi man, wait, what do you mean now? How can Mohlahlo arrive the following day, but bekunabo Ndlovu, nabo Shadrack? And I remember, was it Mthethwa? He said, when Mthethwa and Dlamini, No, Mthethwa and Matebula was as Mthethwa and Matebula, yes, was the one that were at the crime scene first from police station in Vosloorus. And then they said high-ranking police came. And then when they came, they told them to allow them to take over the crime scene. That's when they were told to leave. Now we want to know who are these people? Ndlovu, and then Shadrach Sibiya. Who else? Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but that it seems as if that is where everything gone wrong. It went wrong there because you can't have a Muhlatlo coming tomorrow morning after a house is not that big. The house is not that big. I think it's the same as mine, where I am now. It's not that big. You enter here. This is the space that I call my lounge. And then that is the kitchen. Same thing. Same thing. So they can't say they did not find in that cupboard, they did not find the bullets. No, doesn't make sense. Something is wrong there. We want to know their names. Why were they not included in the dockets? Number one. Number two, why were they not called into the evidence? Number three, if Gininda used Makelini's statement, why is Gininda not using Ndlovu's statement? Gininda kept on referring Makelin. Why Gininda never referred to Ndlovu's statement? Why Gininda did not refer to Mr. Ncashe, who was allegedly a police officer? Why didn't he refer to him? Do you see? There's a lot of things that are going wrong there. Anyway, guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Because it's really interesting to learn about it. I'll see you on our next video. Please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you will be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. You are very much appreciated. I will see you on our next video. Please do drop your thoughts on our comment section. Bye-bye.